Hey everyone. Okay, so what I need you to do is turn to Notes Pack, page 40, please. So I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Pause the video if you need a minute to get to page 40. So my goal of this short video is to just remind you of how to create generalized graphs. We're going to do the first one together, and then this is going to be part of your classwork for today. So we're going to create the graphical relationships of air pressure, temperature, moisture, and density. Directions say to use your noodle, that's your brain, to think about the general relationships between the properties of air and the factors that affect it. List each property on the X and Y axes with descriptors and draw the generalized graphical relationship for each one. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of changes. We're going to, on the second graph, second row, it's not going to be altitude, it's going to be amount of cloud cover. So that's basically just the amount of clouds that are in the sky, all right? And here, just know that it's always about the surface air pressure. It's always about the surface air pressure, okay, the air pressure at the surface, all right? So this second graph should be not altitude, but amount of cloud cover, and the second row should be the air pressure at the surface of the earth. All right, so let's do this first one together. So we're going to focus in on that. All right, so temperature of the air. Remember that we need to give generalized adjectives to the temperature of the air. We're also going to give generalized adjectives to the density of the air. So in terms of temperature, how do we describe temperature? Well, close to the origin is always going to be the lower value. So let's put cool close to the origin because that would be a lower numeric value. And warm would go away from the origin because as you increase your distance from the origin, the value is increasing. Density, we always say like styrofoam has a low density, and lead, for example, or gold would have a high density. All right, so for every graph you're going to make 2 tick marks on each axis and think about the adjectives that describe that variable. And remember that the x-axis is always our independent variable and the y-axis is always our dependent variable. So it's how does this, the temperature of air, affect the density of the air? Well, if we think about substances that are cold, have a cold temperature, the particles can be very compact, right? But the more thermal energy you have, the particles move further apart. So when the temperature is cool, it's more compact, that means the density is high. And when the temperature is warm, the particles get further apart, that means it has a lower density. Put a dot there, and that's our generalized graph, right? So you're going to do that for all of the graphs on this page. That plus the assignment that's in Schoology, that's what you're going to work on during class today, all right? Have fun.